It's been the last week of school for some girls. Well, last week of lessons, they still got exams, but it's sort of tradition that in the last week you do pranks, and we've had a few in the house. This week we were woken up by a euphonium at 7 o'clock in the morning, and then when we went over to the day room, it was interesting, which is going to follow shortly. But I think as long as it's harmless, I mean, sometimes the boys especially go completely mad, and I've done some crazy things, really. Dug up the cricket pitch, planted a tree, tipped over all the plant pots, which is really not good. Over the years, there have been all sorts. All the benches once ended up in the swimming pool. You know, things that actually takes someone a lot of clearing up to do. We did have a bit of egging and flour this week, but apart from that, it wasn't too bad. And certainly the girls are great, and they usually do funny things. And obviously my gnomes also featured quite a lot this week, and were found in all sorts of places. One was tied to the flagpole. One had goggles on and a lifeguard t-shirt and was in the school pond. Another one ended up on the roof of Hatherley, which apparently, if we watch the CCTV in the centre of school, would be quite interesting. But they're not actually safely back yet, so we've still got we know where they are, sort of, but all good fun. And as long as it's all good fun and it's harmless, that's fine. Well, we think it's prank day because our steps have suddenly turned colour, and we seem to oh, very nice, be going through some oh my word, and the mirror has been removed. How are the fourth form going to cope? How are they going to cope with that? I can't believe they blew up all these balloons. Imagine blowing up all those balloons.
It's like all the water cups last year. Like, they filled the entire thing.
That, though, don't you think that takes a lot of breath?
That is commitment and effort.
That is commitment and effort.
Oh my goodness, you can hold them up around.
Oh my word, it looks amazing. It really does look amazing. So all in good fun. Another major thing that happened this week was that two of my lower six girls, Susie and Smithy, we call her, organised a sort of protest stroke rally for climate change, mainly because they were upset that Cheltenham weren't doing anything. Bristol were doing quite a big protest, but they felt that Cheltenham needed to have something, so they decided to organise it themselves. And they contacted the Green Party and the political parties, and started a Facebook page, and it certainly sort of built momentum. And they asked the headmaster if we could go into the centre of Cheltenham and sort of protest that people weren't aware of climate change, etc. So they made amazing placards, really funny ones, you know, the planet is hotter than Leonardo DiCaprio, things like that, and made up some amazing slogans and chants, which you are going to see next. And they were just fantastic. In fact, when we got down to Montpellier Gardens, I was really quite emotional that they got this whole thing together. And there were lots of mums that were obviously part of a Green Party that had their little children with placards. There were some adults with children from other senior schools. They'd got placards, and one man brought a box of chalks so that they could chalk on the pavement. So we kind of met in Montpellier Gardens and then went to the municipal buildings, went down to Alex Chalk's offices. He gave them a wave, which was great, into the centre, and then back to Montpellier Gardens. And I was just really proud of them, because I just don't feel people are aware of what's happening to the planet. And here in Shelburne, we have banned plastic bags and plastic bottles now. We're going to have all our fizzy drinks in cans, because we've got a big can recycling thing that we take to the Oakley Adult Centre. And I've given them all cloth bags and all water bottles, JDK all day water bottles, to use and refill. So we are doing our best to make a small difference. It'll build, but to make a small difference. And this is some of the chants that they did, and then our trip down to Montpellier Gardens.
1, 2, 3, there is no planet B.
1, 2, 3, there is no planet B.
Say hey, say ho, say climate change has got to go.
Say hey, say ho, say climate change has got to go.
Theresa May, can't you see, we don't have no planet B.
Theresa May, can't you see, we don't have no planet B.
Climate change is not a lie, do not let our planet die.
Climate change is not a lie, do not let our planet die.
No more coal, no more oil, keep your carbon in the soil.
No more coal, no more oil, keep your carbon in the soil.
When our planet's under attack, what do we do?
Stand up, fight back!
Keep it on for one last time because it's got to go back in the box because I rented it obviously from the fantastic hat shop in Charlton Kings, and lots of people have commented what a great hat, although it is a fascinator sort of thing because it's got a headband. For my 29th commemoration at Dean Close School, and it's really weird to think that next year is going to be my last one, and I think next year I'm going to get a hat this size. I did see loads in there that were amazing. So it's going to go back in the box. And it has been a long day. I mean, this is the first year in 29 years at Dean Close that I have sang in chapel choir this year. And which is quite a commitment. And it makes you realise for the kids what the commitment is. Monday lunchtimes, Friday lunchtimes. And if they're musical, they've got other rehearsals on at lunchtime. And we had to leave first, so we went off at 8:15 this morning. We practiced in the Abbey before everyone arrived. Service in the Abbey. Came back, loads of parents were already in the house. We had pastries and coffee. Over to the speeches, another couple of hours. Then picnics, then the charity fair. And it's fair to say, my feet are killing me. I struggled to keep my hat on sometimes, especially when I was on my bike, but maybe not the best thing to be on my bike, but it was really easier to get around on my bike. Went to the VIP lunch, which was very good. And the exciting thing about that was we invited the year of, right, if we're in 2019, the year of 2009. No, the year of 1999, something like that. Those that left 20 years ago, and it was great to see them. So a lot of them, I'd been the housemistress in Mead, the girls that I saw, lots of the boys that I'd taught saxophone to, or I was involved in the sixth form centre with them. So that was really good. They seem to have loads of kids. They all, I mean, they're 38, 39, but there was a lot of kids around, big bouncy castles and everything. So it was great to see them. Lots of old staff, because I am old staff now. So great to see all of them. And then over to our Pims and strawberries, and then came back and was dying for a big mug and a cup of tea. So a year to go. It's going to be really weird. In fact, I'll probably spend the whole of next year just crying the whole time. But great day. And they've all gone home for a week. It's half term. And I bet you're thinking she's going to have a quiet week. No, I won't be having a quiet week.